Welcome to the Disney Planning Insights Podcast. This is a replay of our 427 show, where we talked about the opening of Disneyland, callbacks for the Hoop-de-Doo review, and other things from around the Disney properties. For the original video of this podcast, go over to Facebook at www.facebook.com/DPI podcast. Enjoy the show after a quick word from our friends at Anchor. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good wherever you are, whatever time it is. Welcome to the DPI podcast. I am Matt, and today is, what is today? April 27th, 2021. Got quite a bit going on. Disneyland is opening up this week, and some cool things opening and getting callbacks over at Disney World. So lots to get to today. So hopefully we can get to it in a relatively decent amount of time. We'll see. If you're new to the show, hi. Follow us on our social media accounts. You can see them down there. And depending on what screen we're on, you'll see them scroll through, but definitely check those out. We are the most active on Facebook and on Twitter. The YouTube channel is growing. Definitely want to go out over there and check out some of the content. And Instagram, if you like photos of Disney, definitely go over to Instagram. We are starting to fill up our feed with some of the stuff that we've shot at the parks over the last few years. So definitely a lot of cool things going on. The first thing that we're going to do tonight is try and play a 7-minute video. And I know that sounds wicked boring, but I am actually going to talk about it somewhat while we are watching it. So I am going to go over to the YouTube side and let's watch this video from Disneyland. Always has to be some kind of disclaimer, right?
This lamp is very special. It's Walt Disney's lamp. And throughout our closure, it is shown in his apartment on Main Street, USA every day as a symbol of the Disney spirit. Hello, everyone. I'm Josh Damaro, Chairman of Disney Parks, Experiences, and Products. Thank you for joining us tonight for this special event. Throughout the past year, Walt Disney's lamp has become a beacon of hope.
Let me know if that's really quiet, because it's real quiet in my ear.
Once again, be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world. We have an incredible week ahead of us, which of course will conclude with the reawakening of our Anaheim theme parks on Friday. But before that milestone day, it's important that we gather to acknowledge and celebrate the contributions of our cast. Standing here in the glow of Walt's lamp, I can't help but think of the thousands of cast members, crew members, and Imagineers who have brought our parks, our hotels, retail locations, cruise ships, and adventures to life over the years. I want to thank all of you for being part of our team. And I look forward to having more of you back at work each and every day. As we get ready to reawaken this happy place, I want us to take a stroll down Main Street, USA, and introduce you to someone who is as thrilled as anyone to see Disneyland reopen. That's Ken Potrock, the president of the Disneyland Resort. Ken joined the team in the midst of the pandemic last summer, and he's been working tirelessly alongside our cast and Imagineers to reopen our parks and bring magic back to our guests. I know that Ken is just as excited as I am to see our cast members return to work, and I can only imagine how eager he is to hear the laughter and joy of our guests once again. Ken?
Thank you, Josh. Good evening, everyone. After 412 days of closure, as unbelievable as that sounds, it's incredibly emotional to finally be at the moment we've all been waiting for, as we get ready to reopen our gates and bring back the magic to the happiest place on earth. I am very excited about welcoming guests to our parks once again. And tonight, I am beyond thrilled to be celebrating you, our amazing cast members. I am here at the cast window, which is a very special place at this beloved resort. This window was dedicated on the 50th anniversary of Disneyland to pay
So this was taped last night. So when they talk about cast member preview tomorrow, that is actually something that happened today.
Millions of guests from around the world each and every day. As Walt said, it takes people to make the dream a reality. And our Disneyland cast members have been bringing Walt's dream to life for more than 65 years. We all know that you are the true spark that lights up our resort. When our guests tell us how much they've missed the joy that Disneyland brings to their lives, what they really mean is the joy that you bring to life in everything you do. Since joining this incredible team last May, I've had the honor to work with an extraordinary group of people who have been truly resolute in their determination to reopen the resort, bring our cast back to work, and help our community recover. I know our community is celebrating with us tonight. Of that, I have no doubt. And we're celebrating them as well, and saying a heartfelt thank you for their support during this last year. We're stronger together, and there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow ahead for all of us. I want to acknowledge the cast members who have been working throughout the closure, whether making magic in downtown Disney and Buena Vista Street, maintaining the magic while our parks and hotels remain closed, or working from home as we develop the new Disneyland Resort experience. I am immensely grateful for each of you. As the excitement and anticipation for our reopening builds and we make final preparations for this milestone and symbolic moment, I am especially looking forward to getting to know you, the magic makers of the Disneyland Resort. And now, let's head over to Sleeping Beauty Castle to join our Disneyland Resort ambassadors, Justin and Rafa, who are excited to welcome you home.
So interestingly,
you, Josh
that
and Ken, for
gentleman
your
that just
inspiring
spoke
words.
has not
We
been
wish
in the
that we could all
parks
be
with
together
people in them
person
until
tonight.
today.
And yet, we are so excited that we can connect virtually, right here, live, from the heart of Disneyland.
As cast members, we know the enormous effort it has taken to get to this point, and why returning to this happy place is so special for all of us.
It's been uplifting to watch our community of cast members on stage and backstage, in the parks, hotels, and at downtown Disney, coming together and putting your heart and soul into reopening the resort.
That's why Disneyland Resort cast members are invited to be among the very first to experience the magic of our parks once again, as we begin soft openings tomorrow morning prior to welcoming our guests on Friday.
On the eve of this historic moment, I'm envisioning the excitement the original cast members surely experienced in 1955, the night before Disneyland's opening day.
I can imagine the pride they must have felt looking down Main Street, USA, and anticipating what Disneyland would come to represent not just to us cast members, but to the entire world.
Tonight, taking in the majesty of Sleeping Beauty Castle, we recognize its significance as a symbol of the hopes and dreams of so many. And so, it is only fitting that we illuminate it to celebrate our reopening.
It's time to reawaken Disneyland Resort, and we're so grateful to share this special moment with everyone. Because of you, magic is here.
Welcome back, Magic Makers.
Yeah, I'm sure this is going to get me a copyright strike.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past, and here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
So thanks, Walt. Yeah, that was pretty cool what they did for the reawakening of Disneyland. I thought it was interesting kind of how they put it together, but it was good to see Damaro get a chance to speak and talk, because you normally haven't been seeing him. You've been seeing a lot of Jeff Valley, but not a lot of Josh Damaro. So cool for him to get a little bit of the spotlight. So let's keep it over in Disneyland, and let's talk about some of the rules that California has in place right now that are really kind of misunderstood by a lot of people. So when Disneyland first talked about reopening and set the date and everything like that, there was a lot of concern that, California wasn't going to be open to any out-of-state guests. And that's come to be really a falsehood that unfortunately Disney is going to continue with. So if you are going to the parks here in the immediate future, make sure that you have documentation that you're a California resident, because they are not going to let you in if you are not from California, even if you have your vaccination, even if you have a negative COVID test. Now, the one park out there that's really kind of pushing this rule is SeaWorld. SeaWorld is going to let out-of-state guests into their park that do have a vaccination on file, and that's the completed 2-shot or the single-shot Johnson & Johnson. So SeaWorld is going to allow out-of-staters. Disney World right now will not. Some other things with the CDC guidance today: Disney has not made any announcements, has not made any changes in stance when it comes to masks or social distancing. So the CDC came out today and said, hey, if you're vaccinated and you're outside, you probably don't need masks. Disney will follow when they feel safe, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Private business, do what you want. And if you have a problem with it, just don't go to it right now. It's not a big deal. The parks are going to be open 10, 15, 20 years. Whenever you're comfortable with going to the parks, just wait till you're comfortable. Let's bring it back to Florida side, and let's talk about some good news with cast members. And we're going to do it in two different ways. First, let's talk about Cast of Hoop-Dee-Doo Review. Got callbacks yesterday. Hoop-Dee-Doo Review is a dinner show over at the Wilderness Campground, Fort Wilderness Campground and Resort. It is one of the longest running dinner shows in the United States, which is kind of interesting to think about. And it's good to hear some more cast members and some more of these dinner shows getting the callbacks. You have this show, you have the Spirit of Aloha show. I'd like to see more and more of that stuff coming back. It's just good things moving forward as we distance ourselves further and further away from the pandemic, which, depending on your thinking, it's still going on, or we're past it and we're just trying to maintain not being in a pandemic. The other thing that got announced that's going to bring back some people, Cirque du Soleil, their general chief executive officer estimates that Drawn to Life should open sometime this fall at Disney Springs. Drawn to Life is another one of those things that on that March trip last year, we were supposed to do. So, we were going to have our first cruise last March. We were going to see Drawn to Life in one of the preview shows last March, and all that stuff got killed by COVID. And, there's a lot of things that could be a lot worse, but still disappointment abound. But it's good to hear Cirque du Soleil. Cirque du Soleil, there were some rumors that it may not even return after COVID because of all the financial issues that they were having. And who knows why, because they've got to be making money hand over foot, even though the sets are unbelievable. We've seen a few shows out in Vegas, and they are absolutely unbelievable. So we'll see what happens with that, and as we get a better timeline, we will let you guys know. So a couple other surprises around the parks. The first one is going to be that the People Mover opened over the weekend. Surprise! So the People Mover originally had an opening date of beginning of January, and it got pushed back to the beginning of March, then got pushed back to the beginning of May, and then all of a sudden, over the weekend, it opened. Sunday, around 12:30ish, they started letting people on it. So the People Mover is up and running, and so far so good. We will see how it moves in the future, but it is what it is, and it's going. So one more thing at Magic Kingdom to swallow up some people. Now, granted, the line for the People Mover was absolutely outrageous because, you know, people wanted to ride it when it first opened. But it is what it is. So People Mover's open at Magic Kingdom. One more thing you can do over there. Last thing that I've got on my list is that the Disney Wish, Disney Cruise Line's newest boat, being built over in Europe right now, they are going to have a virtual walkthrough, virtual something Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. Definitely want to get on the Disney Twitter account, Disney Parks blog. One of those pages, there's a link to it right now. They kind of give you an idea of what the technology is going to look like, how they're going to do it, that kind of stuff. It's really, really cool. They're going to do a virtual walkthrough, it looks like. So if you're interested in that and you can get to it at 11 a.m., they're going to do it live. I'm sure it's going to be up on YouTube and everywhere afterwards. So don't fear of missing it. I'm sure that Disney's going to milk it for everything that they can, and you'll get to see it whenever you have the time to see it. Still no news on Disney Cruise Lines. I guess that's is what it is. I mean, the CDC isn't giving any guidance on cruises, even though Norwegian and Caribbean, you know, they're all trying to get answers to if their plans are good enough and that kind of stuff. The cruise industry is an absolute joke right now. So hopefully we get some news for them. And hopefully we start seeing a lot more news about the fall here over the next month. You know, I've got a lot of people asking me about October right now. And October is going to be a big month. You know, where we're from, I'm from the Indianapolis area. Everybody's fall breaks fall roughly around the same time, first, second week of October. It's going to be a busy time at the parks. And a lot of people are asking and trying to make plans. And I'm saying, hold off just a little bit. Let's listen through May and see what Disney has going on. We still don't get into booking dining or anything like that right now. So I'm telling people just to kind of hold their horses for a little while or stay put with their plans until they have a little bit more information. I think there's just a lot that's happening right now and a lot that can be happening that can really change a trip one way or another. You know, I've got one family, it's going to be their first trip. There's a lot of things that they want to make sure that they have. So it's just making sure that, you know, we've got everything in place that, you know, this family would want, you know, that Disney has everything in place that this family wants. And, you know, that's going to be fireworks and parades and, you know, some sort of character meet and greets, even though we're getting a little closer. So it's a lot of stuff like that. So wait through May. If you're looking at the fall, I mean, if you're comfortable with the way it is right now, book it. Prices are up about 15% for October right now. Just because of the 50th anniversary of Magic Kingdom. If it is something that you're comfortable with, definitely get your tickets and get at least tickets and get park reservations made, because there are no extra magic hours to work around, and we don't know when that extra morning magic is going to start for resort guests. And that's something that Disney had announced a while ago about if you're staying on site at one of the Walt Disney World Resort hotels or one of their friendly neighbor hotels, you're going to get access to the parks 30 minutes early than any other guest. So a pass holder that's not staying on site and just a regular ticket holder that isn't staying on site, they won't get that extra 30 minutes. But you're going to get an extra 30 minutes, which is kind of cool. They announced it. They said, hold tight. We'll let you know when this is going to work. And then we haven't heard anything, and that's been 2 months ago. So, still waiting to hear on that. But as soon as we know, you guys will know. It'll be on the next Tuesday or on a Thursday if Allie wants to talk news on Thursday. So, what does the DPI have coming up next? So we're working on the Hollywood Studios, the first half of the Hollywood Studios Park Detail Series, and that's going to handle Toy Story Land and Sunset Boulevard, I believe. Yeah. Toy Story Land, Sunset Boulevard. And then the rest of the park is going to be on the 2nd. So if you're looking for Galaxy's Edge, it'll be in Hollywood Studios 2. We do have a lot of ride footage that we're trying to get together and packaged and put in some sort of format for you guys. And then Peter just had a trip over his spring break. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. He got some video down there, and we're going to do some more hotel reviews and restaurant reviews. I know that some people have been asking us about those. So those are coming. We're working on them, and we'll be getting them out here soon. As far as likes and shares, even though Peter couldn't be on today, Princesses and the Mouse, thank you for liking the stream today. If you do need anything travel-wise, definitely check out Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel on Facebook at PATM Disney Travel. They're going to get you hooked up and let them know that you heard about them on the DPI podcast. It'll help us out a lot. You know, we are, kind of supported through some of the money that we make with them. So always helps to get a little bit more to further better the show, and give you guys more content. It doesn't just grow on trees. So we need your help whenever you guys can help out. Really, that's all I've got tonight. So thank you very much. I guess we'll see you guys next week. No kids show this week, and we might see what happens this weekend. We might play with some toys this weekend and put something together. So until then, we will see you guys later. No guests on the show. It was just me tonight. Thank you for watching. If you did watch, if you are looking to plan a trip, Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel at PATM Disney Travel on Facebook. Lots going on. Disney World or Disneyland is opening this week. If you want to have some of that communication with us, at DPI Podcast on Facebook, at Disney Insights on Twitter. That's where we're the most active. That's the easiest place to find us, and we will have some reaction from how the park opens out in California here in the next couple. Thank you guys. Have a good week, and we will see you next Tuesday. Bye now.